It's what this show. What up, Jose?
What's going on, man?
Bro, we got a new home. How you doing?
Yeah, we're taking we've done the whole season over at the FCF Twitch channel, and then we're bringing it over here to KOD.
KOD Media with a little what the I'm just happy we got a home, you know? I mean, could you imagine if we couldn't do this anymore?
That'd suck.
Yeah, it would suck pretty bad, bro. So super excited, bro. We've got Greg Mescall on the show tonight. Got a lot of questions for him. And it's weird, right? Because this is one of those ones I usually go with JiggaMan Porto, the voice of the FCF. I can't actually say that when you have the literal actual voice.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So we might have to come up with a new catch slogan or something on that side, man.
Yeah, you maybe, especially we're expanding outside of just the FCF now too. Like we're doing a lot more stuff over here now that we're doing this on the KOD channel. So, you know, maybe a little bit of rebranding all around.
Right? JiggaMan Porto, the voice of all the he wants. I don't know. It's a work in progress, bro. And then we got Shauncee coming through, the newly knighted champion of the Zappers. A lot of interview questions for him. Reached out to community. Community threw some questions in there for both of them. So I'm excited. But, man, what do you say? We jump into a little interesting of the week?
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
All right. Let's start with this one, bro. I don't know if you saw this, but I'm calling this Tyson 2.0, okay? You had Edgar Berlanga try to bite Alexis Angulo's ear mid-fight, bro, and he couldn't even land that correctly. I mean, look at this. The dude literally came in for the chompers, bro.
Oh, man. Yeah. He goes in, bites into the shoulder first, then, goes up for the ear. What the heck?
He couldn't even get the ear right. I mean, you know you're doing horrible in a fight when you're not landing anything, not even the shady bite tactic, bro.
Yeah, like, seriously.
Now, you know, I mean, maybe he had a spasm, you know? Or
I mean, you're getting hit a lot. You start to panic. You just don't know what to do. You're just fighting for your life at that point.
You just start no, that stuff. Look, I haven't been in many fights in my life, all right? But I don't think in any of the little ones I had, even the playground, I didn't think I've ever went and just try to bite you. I mean, Twitter blew this guy up. Okay, oh, yeah. I had to grab a bunch of them. I mean, but a lot of them were, if you're biting your opponent like a rabid dog, you should be disqualified. I can't believe this conversation's even back again.
Yeah. I mean, you thought you'd seen it, you know, the one big time that, you know, everybody would know you don't go there anymore. Vampire. I agree 100%. He's really going at him.
You know what? But, you know, I think maybe some of us might be looking at it the wrong way. You know, maybe he was lonely. You know, it's been a while since he's been that close to another body, you know, and everybody's thinking he's biting, but he was actually just giving him some love kisses.
Oh, maybe.
Trying to find something for the dude. What are you doing, dude? That was the stupidest of the week. All right. Like, I never thought we'd see
to agree
Mike
with that.
Tyson. Yeah. That one was just, did you ever think we'd see it again? I mean, I figured that was one people wouldn't try to replicate. I
assume you probably would see it, you know, like, but maybe not like on a big card, you know, in MSG, you might not see it ever again, but there you go.
Oh man. I mean, I watched it over and over again. I was like, yeah, this dude's a mess. That should not have happened. You know what? Let's jump to the second interesting of the week. I don't know if you saw this, but Sabrina Ionescu from Liberty, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Is the first WNBA player to have a triple-double before the end of the third quarter. Like, dude, I had to pull highlights. How good is that right there?
Yeah. She's also the first WNBA player. She's the youngest WNBA player to have more than one triple-double in her career. So, yeah, shout outs to her. She's playing just lights out in this game.
Literally, man. And then, you know, it was, of course, the article popped up and I was like, all right, and let me go watch the highlights. Yo, she's taking Steph Curry threes, bro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Like,
she's like you're watching her up on there. Like the way she gets her movement out, creates a little bit of space and just shoots it, man. She was, oh yeah, it's awesome.
I would like to point out, James Dillenbond made it clear that I butchered her name. Thanks, bro. All right, thanks. And yes, the first name I got right. Sabrina is a legend. I mean, the highlight reel was great. You know what, Mr. James Dillenbond, go reach out to Sabrina. Let's get an Eternals moment going, all right? And then you can teach me her name. Got Coach Richie in there. Don't sleep on women's basketball.
I've been getting into the women's basketball a lot lately. So I'm not committing to a WNBA team until Paige Beckers enters the league, so I can just follow whatever team Paige Beckers on. Very quickly becoming maybe my favorite basketball player in the world.
Okay, nice. I mean, I know a lot of guys that are FCF fans. They have a WNBA team, and I think it's because one of our own is in the league.
Mm-hmm. Renee Montgomery, one of the goats.
Bro, I mean, Sabrina to be able to do what she's doing and do it consistently. I mean, are we going to start seeing a lot of that coming across from a lot of these other women in the league? Like, is it getting to that point?
I hope so. If you're watching like the last two NCAA tournaments for the women's side, you're seeing some like incredibly talented people with like Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark, like so many talented young women who are about to come into the league. So I think we're getting ready for like a WNBA explosion.
Yeah. I mean, 27 points, 13 rebounds, 12 assists, the triple double. So good. And do you remember how many has she had now?
This is her second one.
Second one.
Yeah.
So good. So good. So yes, that definitely made the cut for interesting of the week. I mean, you had no choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, especially she's so young too. So you just expect her. She's just going to keep getting better and better.
Facts. Now, I'll probably mess this name up too, Mr. James Dillenbond. So close your ears. Do you know how to pronounce this one, Jose? You want to take this one's name? So at least both of us butcher someone's name.
Olivia Moultrie.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
I think is how you pronounce her name. Yeah, she became the youngest athlete to ever score a goal in a NWSL game, the National Women's Soccer League. How old is she? She's 15.
She got signed at 15.
She got signed at 15. She's 16 now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, 16.
16.
Yep.
I did not know we were having professional 16-year-old soccer players out there.
Yeah, but that's the crazy thing. So when I did my research on this one, she was the first under 18-year-old girl soccer player. Like the NWSL did not allow that. And there was like actual legal stuff they went through and everything, and they won. And now she stamps herself in the history books. I mean, 16 years old, kicking some soccer butt. How you doing?
That's so cool, man. That you see like a super young athlete going out there and getting into the record books like that, man. You love to see it.
Yeah. And, for me, it's crazy because I think, honestly, this is the first time that we've had back-to-back interesting of the week that actually had to do with women's sports. And it's just showing that they ain't playing around. The ladies are coming. They're coming to ball, and they're doing it good because I don't see any articles about a 16-year-old soccer Pele at all yet.
Not out of the U.S., man. Not out of the U.S. The U.S., where we dominate in soccer, is specifically in the women's divisions. So, I hope we see her maybe rocking the Olympic gold sometime soon with that really great women's national team we got.
Facts. I mean, that so far, so good on the interesting, and I had another one. I had to bring this one up.
Okay.
I had to highlight Stephen A.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. So did you hear Tyreek publicly say Tua is more accurate than Patrick Mahomes? Did you see that?
I did.
Okay. So before we share Stephen A's results,
okay,
what are your thoughts, Jose? What are your thoughts on that statement?
So Tyreek would know better than I. He's gotten to play with both of them. What I do know is that out of college, people said that at Alabama, Tua was the most accurate quarterback they had ever seen. Like his ability to put a ball on a dime is sort of his calling card. It's why he got drafted so highly. It's why he was such a big prospect coming into the NFL. Patrick Mahomes is incredible. I would say Patrick Mahomes isn't exactly famous for accuracy.
Yeah.
Right? Like I personally have him as the best quarterback in the league, just in terms of like skill, like
his
across the
style,
board.
everything.
His play style, yeah. I think he's the best at pretty much everything.
He's a playmaker, hands down. From your sidearm passes to your how did you run in circles, throw the ball, and someone caught it, right?
Yeah. I don't know if he's the most accurate. Tua's got some weaknesses in his game. Maybe he is more accurate. It's hard to tell, but like, I think Tyreek, he's got to boost up his young quarterback that he's got. There's been a lot of questions about Tua, but I don't know, I could see it maybe being possible.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, one, you love to see it if you're a Dolphins fan, right? You love that your receiver is hyping up your quarterback, your big epic trade. Let's be real, that was their draft pick this year, right?
Absolutely.
So you love to see that he's feeling comfortable, he's home, he believes in his quarterback. That's great. Now, everybody's saying, go ahead and show us what Stephen A had to say. Stephen A felt differently. Stephen A's response was, hey, Tyreek, stay off the weed. Point blank, tweeted it, said it on the shows. That's it. He says, Tyreek, you're smoking too much of that ganj. There's no way Patrick Mahomes is more accurate than Tua. I thought we should have highlighted Stephen A. for a second.
It's not a bad take.
Look, we got Kung Fu D in the chat, Mr. Dolphin himself. All right, listen, I've been best friends with Kung Fu D for like 23 years, okay? And this man literally has a dolphin room, Jose. The couch, room. The walls, the blankets. You cold? You need a blankie? Yeah, sure. Wrap yourself in my dolphin's blankies. Like, I literally feel my skin burning when I used to stay at Derek's house. All right, Kung Fu D, congratulations on your draft pick this year of Tyreek, but Stephen A thinks your boy. Well, let me tell you
this real quick. I just pulled up quick little stats just to do a little checking here. 2021, Tua Tagovailoa, completion percentage 67.8. Patrick Mahomes 66.3. Patrick Mahomes 13 interceptions. Tua 10 interceptions.
Oh, I mean.
Maybe that's not a good faith argument, but I mean, based on those stats right there,
the numbers don't lie, right?
He is more accurate.
All right, congratulations, Kung Fu D. Your wide receiver believes that your QB is more accurate, and the stats back it up. Stephen A, gotta tell you, bro, you should have done the research. The numbers are right there for you. You're a freaking analyst, bro. Get it together. That's my quarterback. Who, Tua? Tua's your quarterback or Mahomes? All right. I want to get that answer from James. I mean, at least he didn't have to say that I messed up someone's name again. Whatever. So before we get into our interviews and stuff, I wanted to bring on Coach Richie. And you know what? We'll call this, you know what? Check it out. Yeah, what up, Rich? Hey, what up, Coach?
Yeah. The music. Did you change up the music?
I did. Little upgrades to everything, you know.
It got me vibing. It got me vibing to come on. I'm excited to be a part of What the Shh on Tuesdays. So amazing.
So this is what I want to do. All right, we're about to do an interview with our boy Greg Mescall. All right.
Ooh,
I'm going to send you this link. I want you to look at this article that I read. And I want you, for this segment, to break down your opinions on these players. It's an article that says that these are the guys that should be on the trade block going into the season. So let me interview Mescall. You do your homework, and Jose and I are going to bring you back to knock that out. Deal?
Wait, I have to read something?
Yeah, I can't just go into it. All right. But listen, you don't get to just come on the show and look good, all right, and wear a whistle. We're going to put the coach to work and make him do some work. what do you think? We maybe jump into a little Greg Mescall interview?
Oh man, I'm so excited for this
I
one.
think it makes sense. I guess you know what? I'll take my catchphrase and do it the right way for this guy.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of the FCF, Greg Mescall. What's up, Greg?
What's up, guys? How we doing? Ready to bring the ruckus?
Oh, absolutely.
he
You know it. Always.
Listen, this guy does it on stream for you. He does it on the broadcasts. I think he's officially going to use that tagline, Jose.
Oh, I hope so.
You know, I thought about it on Saturday, and then I was reminded not to bring it up, but a certain team was not in the final, and so I figured it may not make sense, but we have it for next season. We have it in our back pocket.
Awesome. Perfect. Yeah. Man, how's it going, Greg? I mean, have you actually taken a break now that the season's over?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, it's always crazy when it ends. You're on like a high speed roller coaster, and then you kind of get off and wander out of the amusement park, and try and figure out which end is up. So, a couple of days to kind of sort through some things, and still trying to find time to even watch back some of the final and look back at some of the fun we had. And so, I'll probably look at some of that stuff here in the next couple of days and share some thoughts on, what was an awesome season 2.0.
Nice.
What's the looking back process? Are you like checking the tape? Like, oh, I didn't get this line right here quite right. I didn't call this play right. Like you taking notes like that?
Yeah, a little bit, I definitely kind of check in on games during the season, especially during the regular season, right? Where we're doing 4 games in a day. Watching back, I'm not going to watch 10 hours back, but I'll kind of look at stuff and see how things kind of flowed. And, it's often sounds a certain way in your mind, and then you watch it back, and sometimes it's better than you thought it was. Sometimes it's not as good as you thought it was. And then you try and just make little tweaks, even early in this season. And, we all get guilty of this from time to time. There's so much scoring in the FCF, can fall into a trap of kind of saying the same thing when there's a lot of touchdowns. So, as I was even working through weeks 1, 2, 3, like trying to be more thoughtful of, okay, it doesn't need to be touchdown every time. Can we kind of sprinkle in some stuff? There's so much stuff going on, right? So, those are some of the things that you kind of look back at, just some kind of fun stuff too, and try and figure out, okay, what worked, what didn't, what can be better for next time,
Yo, I would love to have a breakdown broadcasting session with Greg Mescall. Like, I'd sign up for that, bro. All right. Any advice I can get would be great. So, if you don't mind, Greg, I kind of want to go back, man. I know you're a Jersey guy, right? Mm-hmm. And I would love to know, how did you get into sports broadcasting? Like, what led you here, man?
Yeah, I mean, I get asked a bit, and my kind of running joke is that I was a terrible athlete, and so that kind of got me into announcing early on. No, but I mean, I love sports, going back to being a kid, and played a bunch of sports, a lot of basketball. And I, in truth, wasn't very good. So a way to kind of stay in it was to, be involved in another way. And I always thought it was very cool that any big sports moment that you ever saw, there was always a soundtrack to that. Someone's voice was kind of describing that great play. And so I figured if I couldn't be the one making the plays, then maybe I could be the person that would be describing those plays. And so after junior varsity basketball cuts, I was cut twice from my high school team. The second time, as I was kind of leaving the gym, they had this handwritten poster that said, public address announcer needed. And so I got involved with that. And that was kind of, one of the first forays. But I mean, I was probably like 12 years old doing Pop Warner football on like Sunday mornings, where I would just sit up in a chair and just like announce the kids that were like, a year younger than me, kind of running out there to play. And that was the first, public address was the first kind of sample into that. And then it just kind of kept going, and you just kind of keep following it, and you never know where it's going to take you, and just trying to continue to improve and get better. And every time you get one of those moments that is something special, that's that little like adrenaline rush that kind of keeps you in it, because those are the moments that you're waiting for, right? The championship, right, or the crazy touchdown or buzzer beater, whatever it is, those are the moments that you kind of really, at least that I really look forward to.
Who are like the really great play-by-play commentators that you like listen back to them, like got inspired by those kind of guys? Like who's like the best in your opinion?
So, as Jigga mentioned, right, growing up in the Northeast, and being a lifelong Knicks fan, Marv Albert was the voice of the Knicks for a very long time. And so that was the first big voice that I ever heard. I think, that maybe some of the guys calling the Mets on the radio, but you're oblivious at the time that the guy that does your favorite team is also considered like the best maybe to ever do it, right? When you're talking about basketball. So that was the initial, the things we'd always say at the park and, try and imitate Marv and that sort of stuff, as kids. I would say present day, there are so many talented people that do this, but ones that I really enjoy listening to. Ian Eagle is probably one of my favorites, just across the board. Like if I could ever be compared to him, that would be the ultimate compliment. And he's been someone who's been a very friendly mentor type person in the industry. But that mix of the knowledge and hitting the moments and having the right calls and blending it with humor and kind of just knowing when to be high and when to not be and all that stuff. For someone who loves basketball and football, he does both of those at such a very high level. But there are so many, it's like, it's one of those things where you start listing people and you're afraid you're going to leave someone out, but that's one that kind of comes to mind. Ironically, I've not done a lot of ice hockey, if any, but Doc Emmerich is another one that I always think about. Did the NHL for years, and just the creativity of word usage, is really impressive. And then I just kind of love to hear the way people can craft an interesting call. If you watched March Madness basketball this year, St. Peter's, another Jersey school, went on a run. Oh, yeah. And it was amazing, right? And everyone, as the teams making the run, they're sharing that kind of meme from the other guys, right? With Mark Wahlberg, where he's like, hey, I'm a Peacock captain, you gotta let me fly, right? And so it was so good on Westwood One Radio. Tom McCarthy, I'm pretty sure his name is. I'll feel terrible if I mess that up, but he's the voice of the Phillies, but he does some radio stuff too. And St. Peter's has that big win, right, to advance. And at the very end, he's like, they're peacocks. You got to let them fly. And I was like, that's it. Like that's
that moment.
The thing I'm after. Like that's the whole, that's merging it all together, right? That's this historic moment. That's a great game. That's an epic finish. It's like well said. And there's a little dash of humor in there. That's like the nexus point of like everything that I'd be after.
So good. I mean, number one, love hearing that you're a Knicks fan. How you doing? That's great. So you've done a lot. I mean, right? For anybody that knows Greg Mescall, I mean, from all the things that you've called in sports and I mean, swimming and basketball, all kinds of stuff. What has been your favorite, Greg? Like, is there a specific sport or a specific time that was your absolute, like, that was my epic moment so far?
Yeah. I mean, I would like to think, as cliche as it is, right, it hasn't come along yet because I feel like so many of us trying to get better at it all the time. And like, you can always learn and improve. There have certainly been cool moments. Basketball is always a first love because that was the thing that I played the most and I understood the best, and I have kind of the most just inherent knowledge of. But, as anyone that, has seen me do stuff before will tell you, like I've taken on any sport you could really imagine under the sun, right? From ones that I know well to ones that, I've never competed in biathlon before, or I had never done water polo previously, or
yeah.
Any of these other sports, fan control football, right? Like who had done that specific sport? Nobody, right? Until we did it last season. So, I think over time you start to fall in love with like the moments and the opportunities and the stories, and any one of those things can be that great thing. I was lucky to do the Winter Olympics in 2018. And Shaun White kind of got back, not kind of, he got back to the podium.
He got back, yeah.
In 2014. So to be able to call that moment was really cool, and then interview him afterwards, right? And those are the moments, right, where it's like preparation meets opportunity, right? You've kind of put in the work to be ready, and then it's a thing that maybe you didn't think would happen, but now it does. Obviously, season 1 of FCF, season 2 of FCF have been amazing. I do a lot of the water polo championships, the collegiate championships, which are, for whatever reason, almost always like down to the wire games where we have these epic finishes. It's just a very close-knit competitive sport. Basketball, getting to work with some legendary people. I did basketball at Cheryl Swoops earlier this year, which is like, to call hoops with like an all-time legend, right, is always exciting. So yeah, it's just a mix of, of all that different stuff. And over time, I think you come to have things that maybe you're a little bit more familiar with, but ideally everything you do, you're kind of trying to shape that story and kind of do it to a way that the fans that really love it feel like their thing has been done justice.
Great. What I got really, really impressed by you this FCF season, mainly because watching the dynamic shift from like the morning games that you would call with like Kanato's cracking jokes the entire time, and then shifting over to Shazier at the night times where he's like, very serious football minded and stuff. So like, how was it like switching up like sort of the energy in the broadcast booth throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was, nice to have like fresh guys come in, right, and they bring a different perspective. I've always been taught, as kind of the play-by-play person, one of your main jobs is to make your analysts shine, right, and to make them look as good as possible and showcase their abilities. One of the ways you do that, right, is setting them up for what their strengths are. So if in our afternoon session, Devin and Jeff were a little more loose and joking around and kind of teeing each other up for funny moments, like I'll totally do that and I'll have a great time, and we'll get through the football just the same, but also have some kind of just hilarious moments, right? I mean, if you guys watched, right, there's just moments where we're like falling down laughing over some silly stuff, and then in the evening, right, two kind of different viewpoints coming at it, right? Shazier, defensive side of the football, right? So in a very offensive league, he's kind of looking at it through the eyes of the defender. Devin Gardner, the quarterback, looking at it through the offensive side early in the day. So that's already like a shift that happens right away. And this happens in so many sports, depending on the position the person played. They have their favorites, right, of how they want to look at things. Even Commissioner Ray last season, defensive guy, right? He was always looking at it through the lens of a secondary. And then Degon has such great experience in kind of that esports world. So to kind of merge that stuff, again, it takes a week or two, and you kind of figure out, okay, where does all of this fit, and how can I kind of help these guys be the best they can be? And it's interesting, especially with our afternoon crew or the evening crew, however you want to phrase it. I felt like our last 2 weeks were our best weeks, like our semifinal and then into our final.
It's funny you said that, Greg, because, and don't mean to cut you off, but I was about to say, with that morning crew with Kanata, I really felt by like week 3, you already had that give and take. You knew when he set up for the funny stuff. Like, you guys fed off each other well, and you watched that progression with the nighttime. And I was literally about to say, I really felt like the game going into the playoffs and the playoffs and the championship, you guys were all 3 on point. And I felt like they all finally got comfortable, and you really led the way there. So great to hear that.
No, I think you're right. And sometimes that just happens, right? You just kind of find this natural chemistry, and that happened quick with me, Jeff, and Devin in the early game, and then it was something that we had to work on a little bit more in the evening. But to your point, it just got better, and you felt more comfortable, and it was one of those things where we're kind of walking out of the booth on Saturday night thinking like, man, can't we have 5 more weeks of this? Like we kind of cracked the code on this one. So how do we keep it rolling? But yeah, it's just something you work at, and it was something I was really kind of conscious of, like, okay, how do I tee everyone up to make sure that, and then you're trying to get live involved as well on the sidelines. Like, how do you make sure everyone's a part of this a little bit,
So with all the sports that you call, Greg, like with the FCF side of it, is there a little more of a challenge there because the players are changing every week? And like, you know what I mean? Like when you're calling other sports, you've got the roster that's kind of the same, right? And you're going that route with it. Is it much different when you have that constant rotation?
It's a challenge initially, and then it gets easier as the season goes. So, typically I did college football a couple of years back, and I was on a different game every week, right? So I had 2 new teams every week and a massive roster, and trying to figure out which end is up. And that's very challenging. FCF, the initial, challenge of absorbing all these guys is very difficult, right? 160 guys or whatever it is. And especially in those early weeks, people are kind of coming, going, new additions are happening. So at that point, you're just trying to get like a handle on who everyone is and have some knowledge of them. And given that they typically don't share jersey numbers, we had a little bit of that, but on offense, kind of guys stayed in one number, and defense in one number. The moving around wasn't that bad. It certainly helps once guys are set on a team. But by the time I got to like week 4 or 5, you really feel like, okay, I have a pretty good handle on who all these guys are. At even at 150 or 160 guys, and it was interesting doing season 1 of that. And then Athletes Unlimited was a similar setup where they redrafted every week. Now that was a smaller group, only 44 women, give or take, in that league, but rotating every week. So it was kind of like I was already in that mode of like, okay, every week I break out this thing and move my rosters around and try and plug people in different places. And that especially in the FCF was always my biggest concern going into a Saturday morning. Friday night was really a lot of like, okay, let me make sure I have every roster as correct as it can be, and everyone in the right place with the right number, so that if there's anything else that comes up day of, I can like handwrite it in, but at least I'm as teed up as possible going into Saturday morning, and then I'll deal with whatever other mayhem shows up,
All right. Jose, did you have another one?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to get Greg's thoughts on something. I don't know if you saw this today, but the Glacier Boys owner, Richard Sherman, was announced he's joining the booth for NFL on Amazon. And I know that you've gotten to talk to him a couple times throughout the broadcast and stuff. I want to know, do you think he's going to go into that job, be really, really successful at it?
I would think so. He was always great whenever we talked to him. In season 1, I think he was a little bit bummed with the officiating in some instances, but once we turned that corner, especially when we talked to him in season 2, again, like any player, he'll bring the defensive side of the football, right? That's what he did for so many years at such an extremely high level. So his knowledge there is going to be as good as anyone that you'd see coming out of the game. It doesn't hurt also that he has very recent knowledge of who the players are. So when you think about someone that was just on the field, someone that knows all the players, the schemes, the quarterbacks, all of that stuff really well, you guys have heard him, right? Well-spoken, can kind of break things down, brings good personality, can laugh a little bit. Those for me are all kind of the things that you'd want someone to bring to it. So again, right, I'm only going off of some Zoom interviews and other interviews you've heard, but I think he has all those tools that would make for a really, really strong analyst.
Nice.
So
I reached out in the Discord, right? We like to hit up some of the fans and, get questions asked. So I had 2 that I want to bring up. So first one's from Eric from the Rick T platform. What advice would you give to someone trying to get into sports broadcasting, AKA taking your job?
Go somewhere else. No, I'm kidding.
Next question.
No, I mean, that's the questions that I ask other people and other people ask, me, and so on and so forth. Depending on where you're at, right? If we're talking high school, college, or, whatever it is, right? You need to find an opportunity. It's going to be easier if you're already in a school system, right? If you're in your high school and they have, local TV or something like that, or they have a campus television, or if you're in college and they have student radio or student TV, those are tremendous opportunities to go get a chance, right? And then just have to get in there, try it, and then you have to listen to yourself back or watch yourself back and figure out what you like and what you don't like, settle on kind of your style, if you will. It's all trial and error, right? You kind of go in there thinking, okay, this is how it's supposed to sound. And then you watch it or listen to it back and you're like, oh, that was not very good, And eventually when you get enough of those chances, then try and find someone that you trust the opinion of. Maybe you start with your friends and family to start, right? And then, some people that'll shoot you straight. And then from there,
not the parents that tell you you're good and send you on American Idol or something, right?
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, all right.
A little bit of that doesn't hurt, right?
Okay.
We all want some confidence, but you do need someone that will say like, hey, this is a little strange or whatever it is, right? And conversely, right? If because if you put your stuff out there to 5 different people and all 5 of them say the same thing, like, hey, when you do this sounds strange. Like that's probably a thing to change, right? If you get all that feedback. So just keep seeking out opportunities, even ones that you might not think are very glamorous, right? High school sports, junior colleges, community colleges, wherever you can get a chance to do something. do it and, and just save it and keep refining it. And then find people that will kind of give you some advice. And, and to your guys' point, right, you really don't need someone that says great job. You need someone that's going to tell you in probably some fairly excruciating detail, here's what's not good about this, here's what is good, that sort of thing. So you can keep refining. You're like constantly like, I never did pottery, right? But you're like constantly molding the clay, right, to kind of get it to where you want it to be. And you need to kind of keep working in that feedback. So that's, kind of a roundabout way of saying, seek out opportunities and, and keep saying yes to things.
Yeah, I may have set myself back a little bit, right, when I decided to come out saying that I was the voice of the FCF. and I remember getting messages being like, hey, Greg Mescall's the voice. So I quickly adjusted, and every time the show would start, I would say self-appointed. So, didn't want to step on any toes. But
yeah,
Jose, I'll tell you that the first time I met Greg in Atlanta and went and shook his hand and I said who I was, and his first line was, oh, you're pretty active on social. I was like, I'll take it. What's up, man? Nice to meet you, man.
That's
I got
funny.
another one from the Discord.
Sure.
Will you be the golden pipes of fan-controlled hoops?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. And that's a great little graphic there. That's my hope. So that's, that's what I'm planning on. But, we will know it when we know it for sure. But I would certainly love to do it. I love basketball. So I've done quite a bit of that recently. So it'd be a lot of fun to keep it rolling.
Greg, have you ever called any horse racing?
Horse racing? No. And, the guys that do like the Triple Crown, that is what a challenging job to be able to, you're talking about just like pure memorization, right? That if you're to do the Belmont or, Pimlico or whatever, you do not have the luxury to be like, hey, who's that? Is that, you like have to know. And I don't know. I want to say his name is Larry Kalmus. He does all the NBC stuff now. I don't know how you memorize stuff to that level because what is there? 20, 24 horses. They have their different colored things, right? I'm like butchering all the horse terminology. You can tell I never did it, but to be able to follow that, right, and know who's in front and who's ahead, it is, oh my goodness, it's tremendously challenging. So major props to those folks.
So here's the second part to that. So there's also these things called digital horses now, right, where you put these horses in digital races and you get to watch them and call them. Okay. Yep. So I really think I should put you on the spot, not right now to call one, okay, but commit to possibly doing a Z-Run horse race for one of my shows, and we'll have the voice of Greg Mescall calling the race.
As long as you give me the lineup and who's who and all that good stuff.
I'll get it all lined up, but I think we need a Greg Mescall edition of digital horse racing.
Yeah. We'll certainly give it a shot. Now, I don't know how far back you go, but so way back in the day, because you're saying you're a New York City guy, right?
I am.
Yeah. So you may remember a guy named Warner Wolf on CBS 2 in New York City. He was like a legendary sportscaster. So way back in the day, interned for him towards the end of his career at CBS. I think he's still doing some stuff, but he would always show like random horse races from like Aqueduct and other. He'd find he'd pull in the satellite feed of all these random horse races, and that's how he'd end his sportscast. And he'd be like, we go to like the 12th race at Keeneland or like one other just bizarre. He'd just find a good horse race. And then he'd always say something like,
is he the let's go to the videotape guy?
Correct.
Yeah, all right.
Yes, and he'd always be like, if you had this, like if you're betting on the horse, if you had Mr. Chuckles to win, you lost, that was like, it was pretty funny. So I always think of him whenever I think of horse racing and like people that truly loved it,
Yeah, well, this is definitely a different take on horse racing.
Sure, I can imagine.
I'll send you the video.
Sure.
We've had others do some. We've had Stathead has done some. We have Mr. Canado who's currently creating one for the show.
Okay.
So I think a Greg Mescall call on this would be pretty epic. I think we need to make it happen.
Yeah. Let me know on that. While I'm here, can I ask you guys your favorite memories of season 2.0 or something that jumps out for you guys?
Oh
Go ahead,
man.
Jose.
I mean, there were so many really incredible plays that we got to see. My favorite one that I keep going back to is the Ed Crouch rolling to the left, coming off the 1 foot and just like heaving it with Yeti just like sitting down in the end zone. That's probably my favorite play from the season.
That's great. Very cool.
If I had to choose play, I would probably pick the Yeti drop kick into the end zone. I believe that's where we actually got the bring the ruckus, right? It worked out perfect. Yeah, which was great. That would be one of my favorite plays. Okay. But favorite game, it'd have to be when the Knights broke the record, man. The most points in the game. You guys literally had to like continuously cut yourselves off for the next play because they just kept scoring. And it was hilarious hearing you guys keep up with it. And even the fans are like, oh, and the play's over. Touchdown again. At one point, I think you guys were just like, okay, let's just call touchdowns.
It like reminded me of like the football scene from like Wedding Crashers, where it's like your brother's down again, like he fell down again. What's going on? And they're just like, is it what another touchdown? Like, is the monitor broken? Like, who's playing defense? What is happening right now? Guys were just running wide open. It was wild.
So good, man. Well, Greg, I really appreciate you taking time to hang out with us, man.
Sure.
I tell you now, I know you don't jump into Discord much, but the FCF Discord, they're making it clear they want Mescall for hoops. So I think you've got that petition already signed and started. But man, thank you so much for making time. We love everything you do for the league, and we look forward to seeing what's next for you, bro.
Awesome, guys. Well, always good to talk with you. Let's do it again soon. I'll look for that horse race and appreciate all your passion for this stuff. It really goes without saying, right? But it's not a front, right? You guys generally love this stuff, and I think that shines through in everything you do. So it's appreciated.
That's it. Show over, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great night, Greg. Appreciate it, bro.
See you guys. Take care.
I mean, the guy just, come on.
He's becoming one of my favorite broadcasters going right now. Like listening to like the way he calls the FCF games, man. He's just so good at it. I love it.
I mean, my wife doesn't give credit often. Look, very cool guy. I mean, that's it. Stamp of approval.
There you go.
I did like Jason Wright saying Greg could be an auctioneer, which was great.
I'd love to see that.
So we still have the segment to get back with Coach Richie, right? But before we jump into that segment, I see we got a guest waiting backstage.
We do. We got a great guest.
First time we interviewed him, how great was that interview? I mean, just so good, right? But now he's coming back a little different, right? He coming with a little bit of that swagger, a little bit of that championship swag. Let's just bring him on. Our boy, newly championed in the FCF Zappers team, Shaun'cee. What's good?
What's good? How y'all doing?
Oh, my man came in with the Z and everything. Okay.
Yes, sir. Zapper Nation.
They got you running around doing the Zappers thing too.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Man, bro, we had to have you back on, right? I mean, you killed it in the game. But before we break all that down, are we still on that high from the championship game? How we feeling, man?
I ain't gonna lie, we celebrating just still a little bit, but hey, we also still getting back to work already, starting to prepare for our next coming challenge, if that's either the XFL, CFL, NFL, or even back to the FCF. So we still celebrating a little bit, but we also still focusing getting that work in.
What was celebrating that night like when you just won a championship? And right there, legendary partier Johnny Manziel's right there to party with you, man. What was the night like?
Man, it was really like unreal. Like just like the moment the confetti coming down, I had to like really just grab to like, I was like, man, like we really just did this. Like we was a laughing stock of the league. And we just won the championship. So it's like my heart beating fast. I see everybody celebrating around me. I was like, man, I'm blessed. The whole team, we blessed.
Yeah, but you know what? We also got to give you credit. Make sure I got the stats here right. I'm pretty sure I do, but 7 attempts, 69 yards on 2 tutties.
Yes, sir.
Come on, he came to play that night. Shauncee, man, that had to feel good, especially in the championship game, bro.
Take that to the house. Yes, sir.
He did.
Yes, sir.
He did.
Oh yeah! Shout out to my old line and all the wide receivers that blocked on that play. Everybody did their job on that play.
I mean, how good did it feel, especially it being the championship game, to be able to throw up 2 touchdowns in that game, man?
Man, so it's like my mindset going into the game, like Josh McCougar, we always got this thing that he always asks me, like, how many touchdowns you getting this week? How many touchdowns? So I always give him a number, but like this was the championship, so I'm like, man, I'm gonna do whatever it takes for us to get this championship. So if that means as in me not scoring to only getting 50 yards a game or just being a straight up blocker, I was down for whatever to get this championship. But I was just truly blessed that God blessed me to let me end up with 2 touchdowns. So hey, all glory to God.
Amen. And they were good touchdowns.
Oh, they were
now,
so good.
I also had to make sure we include a lot of your highlights on this reel
right.
here, okay? I mean, we had to make sure. I mean, we had to get the dance in there too. Come on now. You know, I wasn't going to let that one slide.
We did have my favorite celebration of the entire season, which was the Shawn Michaels super kick.
Michaels.
Yes.
Because I was that whole season, I was trying to win the best touchdown celebration. So like the night before, or even on game day, I was like, what touchdown celebration can I do that the fans are gonna go crazy about? So I was just thinking, and I was like, let me tap back into my childhood. When I was younger, I was in love with wrestling. Like I was crazy about it. So I was thinking of all like the wrestling moves I can do, and I was like, the sweet chin music. Everybody is going to know that when I do it. So I was like, yup, that's the one to go.
Yeah, you nailed it. That celebration, I mean, again, whether you like wrestling now, back then, you know sweet chin music. And
you tune up the band and then boom.
Bam!
Yeah.
Knock it out.
Absolutely.
Shauncee, what was like the biggest turnaround? Like, what was the biggest like thing that put the Zappers season just like completely changed it for you guys? Was there a specific moment that you can bring in, be it like Kelly Bryant coming into the league, something like that, where you felt like, okay, now's like the time where we really get things turned around?
So I felt like Kelly Bryant played a huge role, and everybody on the team just played a huge role altogether. But the one thing I can say is Terrence Williams. When we drafted him, I think it was after that when we became 0-4. Then I think we got we was like 0-3.
I think it was week 3. You guys drafted him.
Yeah, we got Kelly, and I remember Terrence. He was like, I was in the huddle. He was like, we need to start communicating more. Like, we don't want to just be like, okay, I hope he know what to do on this play. I hope he know what to do. No, let's all talk. Let's make sure we on the same page. And it's like, ever since he said that, like in practice, we started talking way more. It's like everything just started coming together. We was like, dang, this really working. And then we just went over to the game and we got on that hot run.
That's so cool, man.
You did. Probably the hottest run we've seen in 2 seasons. I mean, 0-4, the champions, bro. Like, come on, Shauncee.
Man.
So, bro, what's next? I mean, obviously, are we getting back into it? Are we looking for a different opportunity? Are we trying to get into some leagues? Where are we at?
So, I'm open to any higher league that comes my way. So, XFL, CFL, NFL, but say if I don't get like get a contract for any of them, the FCF is most definitely, I'm coming back. I'm most definitely coming back. I'm coming back. Even though we won that championship, it's like I'm coming back for revenge, as in
Now the 0-14.
Yeah, that and like it's like that whole season I had like great stats, but we had all our other super bags. Shout out to all the super bags that played in the FCF this year. I love all my brothers, but it's like even though I was having good games, everybody else, they already came out hot. Like Malcolm, Bryson, Kobe. It's so many. Everybody was just going off, and then it's just like at the end, that's when my performance just started getting a little bit higher. People actually started to notice me. So I was like, my mind said, if I come back to the FCF next year for season 3.0, I'm coming right after the gate. A lot of people haven't noticed in the beginning of the season, I really didn't get that many touches. Mm-hmm. So I could see why a lot of people that like you really didn't hear my name that much. Right. But then when it's like the fans, they started believing in me, they started feeding me the ball more, and everything started rolling. So now everybody know what I can do.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, Shauncee, because one of the questions that came in from the chat in Discord for you came from Frosty, and his question was, how did you stay mentally ready to shine even after the team went weeks without passing and started another super back? How did you keep that mindset, bro?
So I believe in the saying, you're always in it's God timing. So I knew my ability. So it was just as in I had to just keep grinding, and I know when my time came, I was gonna take it and run with it. One looking back, I was gonna, like some of them plays you seen, I was gonna get the ball and I was gonna go to the end zone
and drop the sweet chin music. Bam! How you doing?
Exactly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So before Jose asks,
I love a guy who can win a championship and still be like, "No, we got unfinished business.
Still
got
stuff
to
do, right? Exactly.
Absolutely.
I love it. Still with a chip on the shoulder.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yo, I gotta ask, were you able to grab some of that money that was dropping all over the place?
Between us, yeah, I had to give me some money. Hey, gas is high nowadays.
Yeah, tell them.
I had to pick me up some gas money.
I always love when I see that happen, man. I'm like, do you keep celebrating? You just dive. You know what I mean? Like me, I'd be like, just grabbing them, just filling up my pants, ready to go.
Mm-hmm. You see, people didn't know the trick. Everybody was standing up when the money was coming down. They were trying to grab it like that. I was like, no, I needed to get off. I was on the ground, just steady grabbing it.
Right. It's like you one of those tanks, right, that you go in, the money's flying around. I don't understand the people that sit there doing this. I'm like, no, get low, put it all in.
Exactly.
You know what, Shauncee, you and I would have killed it
together. Yes, sir.
Shauncee, I know you had another one.
Shauncee, what's your favorite moment from the season, man? Be it like a specific play, specific game, like, or maybe not even something on the field. Like, what was like the big highlight for you on the season?
I feel like the biggest highlight was our first win. Because I feel like that game, like I said, when Terrence, how he talked to us about like communicating, we seen how it was in practice. And shout out to Terrence Williams for that, because like he really kept like preaching it to us, even to the championship. Like he kept on just repeating himself. We need to communicate so it can be like just come out for us.
Right.
So it was that first game I think we played against should have been Stars.
Mm-hmm.
And during the game, everybody was communicating. Even the defense was communicating. It was just the energy of that game, just seeing everybody connecting, everybody just getting hyped. Yeah, I just never forget that moment. That's right awesome. There. That was that turnaround right there.
And it's crazy to think, right? You guys are a perfect example of once the communication happened and the chemistry started to build, you guys became a team that ends up winning a freaking championship, which no one expected, all right? Listen, there was talks about every other team and complaints and this and that. No one was saying, and the Zappers, right? McTuna Fish comes in, calls a great game. Y'all just show out. Right, McTuna. Listen, I'm gonna keep praising that kid. Great job, McTuna. All right, man. Shauncee, I mean, putting that highlight reel together, bro, was so much fun. Not just the dances and celebrations, but the moves, man. Just the talent that you have. It showed, and I think you said it best just a little while ago. Was people weren't saying your name early on because you didn't have those opportunities.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
But once you got those opportunities, there's nobody that doesn't know who Shauncee Thomas is now in that league. Yes, if you come back for season 3, Are you hoping the Zappers give you that franchise tag?
Yes, I ain't even gonna lie. Hey, it's Zapper Nation. It is Zapper Nation, Zappers for life. So I'm putting it out there right now. If any of the Zappers fans are watching, bring me home. I wanna bring us another championship. I want to go back to back with the Zapper Nation.
And my pitch is Zappers. I mean, you don't have to really listen to Shauncee 100%. If you want to leave him available for some other teams that think him and a T West would be a sick tandem, I don't know. I'm just saying, how you doing? Oh, could you imagine, Jose?
Oh man, that'd be
Come on.
Thunder and lightning.
Right there. That is my boy. T West is.
Oh my gosh.
He unreal.
That would be dream. You and T West together, both breaking down snap. Oh my gosh.
But to be honest, I wouldn't even just like to be on the same team as T West, because like from training camp, actually hanging with T West and seeing what kind of person he is, I would want him to have his own team, to get all the carries he can, to just keep shining. Though the one game I would just never forget about T West. The one I forgot who he was playing against, but he had 4 carries, 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards.
Yes.
What were you drinking that day? Like, did you take some go-go juice or something?
Listen, we were all asking the same thing, Shauncee. We were like, all right, just give him the ball again. He was like,
exactly.
I mean, it was like he hit super juice mode, and T West was nuts, man. But this is just one of those moments, right, where looking at what he's done, Jacoby, all you guys are elite level talent, and for me, as a fan of season 1 and season 2, seeing how you guys helped elevate the super back position this year was huge, right? Because Jose, I mean, you agree, right? When you think super back season 1, there's really one name you talk about.
Yep. It was Galloway, and that was a lot of the teams weren't using those guys, even though there was some real talent out there. They didn't get a lot of usage. They didn't get a lot of attempts at it. And this season, I agree. We got guys like Shauncee, guys like T West, guys like Elaine. There's so many good running backs this year.
So many.
You guys all collectively put a stamp on the league and to the fans to make it clear that, ball is ball. You still got to run. You still got to utilize that weapon. And, man, I think it's going to change the game for the upcoming seasons. We about to go crazy, Shauncee. You're going to be running, boy. You're going to be running.
Exactly. It's crazy. It was like, I think it was close to the end, probably in the middle of the season, but I made a post on Instagram and I tagged all the running backs in it. And I was saying, like, salute to all the running backs, because we're in a passing league. And no, I'm not down talking to any receivers or anything like that. But
it's just the nature of an arena football game.
Exactly. Like, we're in the passing league, and the superbacks took over this year. The superbacks took over. Like, every team had a superback that had his shine at some point this year. Every superback had some type of shine. Like, salute to my brother Malcolm Gallup, the record holder.
Let's go.
5 touchdowns in 1 game.
5 tutties. I mean, Sir Gump went bananas, like, no question.
Oh man.
See,
we got some backs.
The thing I love too, though, and Jose, I know you'll agree, is we saw the difference in season 2 now for that running game, right? I think what you guys did this season now is going to make it to where defenses are going to elevate next season, because they know it's a passing league, but that's changed after this season. So I think the competitive juice is going into season 3, and the defense is understanding, hey, these fans are actually starting to get it together. I think things are about to get crazy.
Yeah, I don't think they was expecting the running backs to really take over like that. Right. Now they seeing it we run, because mostly how like the defense play, you'll have like 3 down and then 1 linebacker. So if your lineman block the 3 down and you just got that 1-on-1 with that linebacker, if you get past them, you gone.
Right.
You were gone. And I don't think they was really just expecting it. But now I feel like next year, I feel like now they seeing how it was, so they're gonna be like, all right, yeah, we can just worry about the run. Now it's gonna be now they're gonna be like, it's a run first. I feel like they're gonna start playing the pass second.
I think it's gonna change a lot from the fan play calling that we've already seen adjusting and the defenses. I think season 3 is gonna be that season, man. And we're about to see a lot of crazy things. Man, Shaun'cee, I really appreciate you making time. Congratulations on the championship, my guy.
Yeah.
That's huge. Go ahead. We'll allow it. Yes, go ahead. Throw out that. And you know you're welcome on our show anytime, man. Stay blessed. Good luck in this. I guess we're going to call it your off season. And we look forward to working with you again soon, man.
Yes, sir. And before I get off this, I want to give all glory to God. I want to give a shout out to both of my daughters back at home, Sanaya and Nayeli. Daddy, love y'all. I want to thank my family, friends, all my fans out there supporting me. I want to just thank y'all truly just being patient with me and just seeing me get back out there grinding. I really appreciate that, and I love all y'all.
Man, and I'll add to that. Shauncee's parents, the Zapper Nation, I am sure is thankful for you as well for giving them this dude right here, because the laughing stock are now the champions, and your son pulled it off. Shaun'cee, man, appreciate you, bro. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. Y'all too.
Man, we could interview that dude for hours. You know, listen, my next message to Shaun'cee isn't, hey, Shaun'cee, you want to come on the show? It's going to be, hey, Shaun'cee, what you doing this weekend, man? Let's go eat. Let's hang out, bro. Let's get together. All right. Listen.
So great to talk to.
I love the fact that on Tuesday nights here on the KOD, there's no time limit. You want to keep watching? We want to keep talking. We got a lot of to cover. So before we bring Mr. Coach Richie back on the show, what do you think? A little sports history for everybody?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Check it out. like history. Dude, I love putting those together because I get so lost reading the articles, and then I'm like, wow, that happened. This one kind of hurt though, because a lot of the stuff was about Rangers winning.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, oh. All right, you know what? Let's bring our boy back. Richie! Did you read the article?
Of course I did. Well, I did, and I didn't, and then I did again. So definitely, got to see the names of the people, and
good.
did my own research.
All right, so let's do a little trade block speculation is picking up, right? It's NFL time.
Yeah, buddy.
I read the Bleacher Report article that I sent you. It was done by Christopher Knox. And I want to see if you guys agree or disagree with who he says should be on the block and where they should go and where you think they should go. Fair enough? Easy enough?
Fair.
Chat, same to you. I want your answers. When we pull it up, you tell us if yes, they should be on the trade and who they should go to. I would love to get everybody's opinions. Let's start with the first one, guys. First one on the clock is Saquon Barkley. Now, he has him on the trade block, should be traded, and says the best home for him would be the Tampa Bay Bucks. Thoughts?
It sort of makes sense to me. He would be good on the Bucks. It does seem like the Giants probably want to step away from him. He's had a really, bad history of injury. He's not really had a breakout that you would expect from, the second overall pick in a draft. But I don't see any teams being willing to pony up and trade for Saquon Barkley is the thing. Because of the same reasons the Giants want to get rid of him. He's just too inconsistent to really put any kind of value on the table for.
Good take. Richie.
I didn't know we were taking the logical take. I said, screw that, because that's not what Coach Richie does. I said,
that's an acceptable answer. Screw that. Okay.
Yeah, baby. I mean, I saw the guys and I saw who the writer suggested, and I was like, yeah, of course he can suggest that. I went through and did my own stuff. Yeah, he probably would fit on the Bucks. You got Tom Brady, need a run game there, with Leonard Fournette. But I figured if anybody could take a chance on him, it would be New England. I don't want to say it, Patriots. They need a strong running back there. They were playoff bound. You get a running back in there. That the last game they played against the Buffalo Bills, they only rushed for 89 yards. Now, yes, Saquon hasn't produced really. He's been injury ridden. But if anybody could turn somebody's career around, unfortunately, it's the New England Patriots.
Yeah. So my thoughts, one, obviously agree a bit with both of you, Jose, right? Who wants to take on that money? Yes, we know what Saquon's capable of, but the injuries, everything, he hasn't been the Saquon that we all fell in love with. Now, if there's a team that's willing to pay it and bring it, then I think a team that's going to use him as a 1-2 running back and not your every down back, that's where he needs to go. I'm not even putting on a specific team, but if you have a team that says, hey, we will take it back to the two-headed snake, the 3-8, you know what I mean? And really have it to where Saquon can be not touching the ball 40 times in a game, then that's where he needs to go. All right, good talk. We had Jason Ryan in the chat said, no trade. My wife, I have no opinion. Right.
There you go.
Well played.
All right, second one he put on this list was Jesse Bates III. He has him going to the Philadelphia Eagles. Richie, thoughts?
Same thing. In the sense that I don't care exactly where he said he wanted to go because, I took my own deep dive. Yeah, he probably does fit with the Philadelphia Eagles. You're always looking for secondary help. I thought that he could pair well in Indianapolis. I feel like secondary is something that they could use with that pass rush. You pair somebody with that amazing deep front there, give somebody back over the top, no time to throw. There we go. Interceptions.
Yeah. For me, I think this is a trade. I agree with the Eagles, but really like almost every team in the NFL right now is looking for secondary help. It's a position that you need depth. This is a passing league right now. So any kind of talented defensive back is going to be looked at pretty highly right now in the market. This guy wants to be paid or traded. He's sitting out right now. So, and with especially like the Bengals history of the last couple of years of not paying the guys who are trying to sit out, I do expect him to get traded, but yeah, I think he can go anywhere. Like so many teams need defensive back help. The 49ers, San Francisco, yeah, pretty much everybody needs secondary help.
Yeah, I like both of those answers. I also like this one. Who? How you doing? Next one on the list was Clelin Ferrell. And he is saying he believes he should go to the Cleveland Browns. Jose,
I could see it. I could see him going to the Cleveland Browns. The Raiders got a few guys there. They don't exactly need this guy. Pass rushing, there hasn't been a huge market for pass rushers who like aren't the biggest names in the world. Your JJ Watts and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if this guy's actually going to get moved or not. And I'm not sure what team. The Cleveland Browns already have a really elite rush game. I think they're in sort of the same position as the Raiders. Like, why do they need this guy to go with everything else? So yeah, I'm just not too sure.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at a couple of teams, Richie, right, that could use edge help, but I think he's a type of player that has to be in a specific scheme to really work, right? And that kind of knocks down a good portion of those teams for him to be the asset that you would be investing in. Did you have a team, Richie, that you thought, hey, you know what, he'd make a great home here?
I think Kansas City, they play that multiple front defense. They have, good names all around, but they're aging a little bit. Those linebackers are getting a little old, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken, but I really think, they did play a lot of multiple fronts. And I believe he is able to play those if you can utilize his specialties.
Man, you sound like a coach. Deion Jones is next, and he's calling for Deion Jones to go to the Cowboys.
No.
Richie, thoughts?
I want him to come to Detroit.
Hold on. Here it goes. Hey, James Dillon, you're getting some Lions talk. Here you go, bro. Give it to him, Richie. Get it.
This Detroit Lions team is becoming sneakily underrated from even the national media. The Lions have always had a bad problem over the past few years with not having great coverage linebackers. So, someone that we could bring in, that we just drafted Malcolm Rodriguez. We have a young guy from Purdue and Derek Barnes who can run from sideline to sideline. So having a guy like Deion Jones who could come in and show these, younger guys how to play the position could really help us. We've been in, talks with their camp, I guess. So we'll see what happens, but I'd love to see him come fill in and be in Honolulu Blue.
Okay.
This is an interesting one because he's coming off of a surgery. So he's missing the early parts. So this one's not going to happen anytime soon, but I don't really know what the Falcons are like trying to do right now. They seem to be like up in the air about whether or not they're actually trying to win or not. So it's hard to tell what's going on with that team and if they're going to be doing any kind of trading with this guy. I do think the Cowboys is a good fit for him. I like the pick that he makes in the article. It makes a lot of sense. The money's there. But yeah, I can't get a read on what the Falcons are doing right now.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think the Falcons either. So there's a bunch more on this list, right? But I want to ask you, Jose.
Okay.
Who would you put on the trade block and where should they go?
If I could see one player traded this season, I would like to see Terry McLaurin get out of Washington. He's I think one of the most talented young wide receivers in the league right now. He's coming off of back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, but because of the quarterback situation, everything going on in Washington, he just hasn't had a chance to succeed and really break out in the way to get Pro Bowl season or anything like that. I really do think this guy has the potential to be one of the best wide receivers in the NFL if he has a good team around him. I like to see, especially like Washington, that's another team that you just don't really know where they're at. So I could see them going into rebuilding mode and maybe getting rid of Terry McLaurin. If I could have him go anywhere, I'd love to see him play for the Green Bay Packers just because I know that that's the place where he can succeed without fail.
Yeah, and he'd have a pretty good quarterback there throwing. And that would help them huge, right, with moves that they made in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
I jumped a little on the graphic, but it looks like the answer you gave, Richie, was Baker. That's who you put on the trade.
Yeah, he everybody's given up on him. I believe he's, they say that he's sort of a locker room concern in some regards, but I love his grit and his character. Matthew Stafford, got injured in mid-game in his rookie year against the Cleveland Browns, happened to say, and he popped his shoulder out of his socket, came back in and threw the game-tying point conversion to Brandon Pettigrew. And he came back and showed grit, and we fell in love with the kid. I think Baker Mayfield, he played with so many injuries last season. It was ridiculous. And I don't know, as a quarterback, I want somebody that's going to step up for their team. And I mean, sometimes obviously playing injured could, hurt you in the long run. But I don't know. It's something about that old school football mentality, grit. He can move in the pocket. He's not the fastest guy, but he's very elusive. I would love to maybe see, maybe go to Carolina or something, where they've had success using a quarterback that can move around in the pocket. They got Matt Rule down there. So
and you see some of the articles came out today, right? Panthers are trying to make a move for Baker, but with the drama in Cleveland, I'm pretty sure they're not looking to get rid of this guy anymore, right? I mean, what is your other option? I mean, I know they've got 75.
Well, the thing is that they made the relationship so toxic with Baker that even if they need him, I don't think he's going to be willing to go back and play there. I mean, obviously the money is an issue there. There's so much going on with Baker that's confusing. I wouldn't mind if my Seattle Seahawks went and traded for him. Maybe send Drew Lock over there. They need a backup. I like Baker enough. I don't think he's an elite quarterback, but I think he's a good enough quarterback. Teams have gotten there with a good enough quarterback. They didn't win it all, but Jimmy Garoppolo isn't that much better than Baker Mayfield.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
Los Angeles Rams.
You can do a lot of winning with a quarterback who's just good.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Man, great talk, guys. Richie, have a good night, bro. Get ready, because next week we're back on some more NFL trade speculation. Later, bro.
Absolutely. All right.
All right, Jose. The show's not done, bro. All right. I've gotten into the Eternal GG app.
You're big on the Eternals.
I'm big on these moments. I'm loving it. I mean, there's just such good stuff. So they had the drop for the new packs for the championship pack. How you doing? I had to make sure I got some. So I want to pull it up. I want to rip the 2 packs that I got. But I also want to talk because did you see any of the tweets that came out today on how these challenges work for this new special pass?
I haven't, no.
Oh, let me pull this up. Let me get here first. We'll do a little share screen. Chat, any of you in here, you got some of these moments? Because I'm still looking to buy some KOD moments. I'm just saying, if you have KOD moments, you need to hit me up. All right, so let's share this screen. So the complete pass. I started doing it, and then I was like, you know what? Let me save some of it since we're on here.
Okay.
What's cool is it's got the different tiers, right? And there's 10 tiers, and each tier you complete comes with a little bonus, right? By having these cards. What I loved, though, was when I first read it, I was like, I got to get rid of these cards, and then I lose them. But you don't. With Eternal, they get stuck and locked for the 30 days, which is the season in the cards. But then you get them back. So you can't sell them. You can't trade them anything for that 30-day period. But
you're not getting burned completely.
Exactly, bro. Which was, for me, super stoked. That's when I was like, okay, I need to go in here. I need to knock these things out if I can. Like, I'm going into tier 4 right now, okay? But look, tier 3, you're winning uncommon moment of most unfortunate accident in FCF season version 2.0 in week 5. A drone was knocked out of commission by an athlete, and the FCF team was left stunned. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
So I completed that one, and then I got the alert while we were sitting here doing the show, and I want to see if it's in there. But it looks like because I completed it, I did. I got it.
There it is.
All right, so I'm going to look at it for the first time with you. So how dope is it, though, right? That you get to do these challenges, get as far as you can, and then you're not burning those other moments.
That is nice. I've never been a fan of the whole like burning. I don't really understand the the reasoning behind it and stuff. But I like that these don't go away.
The drone goes down. So good. And of
So
course,
good.
McCougar
I remember
in
watching this on the broadcast and just laughing, man. It's so
there. It
funny.
was good. All right. So I got Yeti versus Harden now because I completed that.
Little rock, paper, scissors action, huh?
Yeah, I got the down goes drone. So we'll go back and complete those. I'll do that off screen. What I want to do right now is I gotta see these championship packs, bro. I've gotta see. Look how
I was
pretty.
hoping for a Shauncee Thomas moment here.
Oh, if we do, I'm then calling Shaun'cee so we can get this thing signed. Let's open this bat. Ooh, the purple shade behind it. What we got? What do we got? All right, all right. Oh, you know I
got a
get
rare.
excited when I see it.
There,
All
right there.
We'll open the first one. Mike Lee stops
Ooh,
Bryant.
okay, I remember this one, yeah.
Yep, that was a good one.
Mike Lee, hell of a game.
Ridiculous. Talking smack and everything too, which was great.
Mhm. I do love
20.
every People's Championship so far has some kind of a scuffle in it. So I hope that's
Yeah.
a tradition that continues.
Hey, Pacheco. Oh, wait, is this?
Oh, so it's
not
the
bad.
whole playoffs.
Oh, nice. Nice. All right. All right. Here's the one I got to open right now.
Ooh.
Oh, 10 of 18. Ooh. Another Mike Lee moment. How you doing?
Mike Lee. That's pretty good.
Okay. I got me some defensive action going on. That's so dope.
Hell yeah.
What do you think? We open the other pack real quick?
Oh yeah, might as well.
I mean, you know what I
See what we
realized? Is the sound coming through? No, right?
Oh no, I'm not getting sound.
You know what? I would like to apologize to our viewers for the fact that you couldn't hear the awesome beat that goes on with this thing. Let me try it again. Bam. Here we go. Here we go. All right, let's open this championship pack and then go complete the sent. Ooh, hold on, Jason Wright. I sent the TO Eternal moment to your Discord DM. How you doing? I will be talking to you soon. Hey, I think this guy likes Eternal stuff. Oh, Trevor, what's good? Oh, Jason, he made it to tier 8. Ooh, I got to see how far. Okay, and look, clarification. It is both rounds.
It's both rounds of the playoffs.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Ooh, all right. Beat coming through? Oh,
Yeah, I get the beat now.
Here we go. What do you got for me? All right. You know I always like to do a little swipe. Oh,
Okay, we get the rare.
Yes. I'm ripping the rare first. I'm doing it.
Oh, we're ripping the rare first? Okay,
I'm
let's
going
do
right
it.
into it.
Let's
What
do
we
it.
got?
Oh,
we got
Kelly Bryant.
moment.
Second down
The
and goal from the
magician.
9. Bryant has all day just
No one
standing
open.
in the pocket.
No one open.
Brian looking for room. Now here comes a
Mike.
problem.
Oh,
Gets rid of 2. Things are opening up. KB can walk it in for 6.
Serial number 8 of 18. Bro.
I love that one. You know, all the Apes fans watching at home during that play were like, "Oh, we got him! Oh, we got him! No!"
Listen, the fact that we have the option to get players to sign these,
That's
I
pretty cool.
need to get Kelly Bryant to sign that one right
That
there.
KB signature. Ooh, little Mo Thomas action.
Oh, what up, Mo? And then we got Hitman gonna hit. Nice. Good tackle. Oh. Ooh, look, I didn't notice that it gives you the complete the creator pass. Guys, once the show's over, I'm going to go in here. I will let everybody know if I was able to pull it up. Now I know I have to get past tier 8 to beat Jason Wright.
Gotta be competitive.
Man, Jose, new home, new same day, same time. Great show.
Absolutely.
Love having Greg Mescall on. Love having Shaun'cee on. We'll let everybody in the chat know a couple things real quick. Number one, next week, there will be no Actually, there's going to be no evening shows on KOD Media. It's NFT NYC week, people. All right, we got a lot going on. So we'll be back here the week after next, every Tuesday, 9 o'clock. You'll be able to hang out with me, Jose Ruckus, and all of our guests. Tomorrow night, we have the night shift. And tomorrow night, I think people might want to sign up to watch this episode tomorrow. I mean, I might be biased, but we got, you know what? Let me just put it on the screen real quick. We've got our interview tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Michael Carter Williams coming on the show tomorrow. A little one-on-one interview action. Make sure you tune in for that. Guys, if you haven't yet, KOD Media now has its own Twitter page where you'll be able to see all the edits and clips and upcoming schedule and all the guests we have. It's KOD_media. Go give it a follow. Also, go follow this guy, my co-host right here, my partner in crime, Mr. at Jose Ruckus. And if you're watching, I think most of you by now should have already followed the at JiggaMan Porto. If you haven't, what are you doing? How you doing? Help me out. Go give us a follow. Man, I think that wraps up the show, bro. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we got a pretty good one here.
On that note, have a good night, chat. Appreciate you all hanging out. Later, Jose.
Later.
Peace.